Billy V here from Middleborough, Massachusetts, USA again. Next video. These are the ram mount mirrors that I bought. Screw in, super easy mount. Position your mirror however you like it. I'm sure you're familiar with ram mount. Lock it down. They didn't shake. They work just as good as these mirrors. They're great. Nice big screen on it. And when you fall down, it can collapse instead of break. If it hits the right way, I'm sure in some direction it can break again, but well worth it, I think. The Machine Art Moto handguard has a cap cover. It just snaps in that easily. Now you've gone from hot weather to cool weather. It also has an inner shield. Put the inner shield in. Like that. It's got 3 thumb screws, which is really nice. They don't fall out. Push it down when you don't want it. When you do want it, you pull it up, tighten your thumb screws to keep it up there, and you get even more hand protection, up distal forearm protection as well. Like I said, well worth it, but disappointed when it broke when it hit the pavement. Obviously they sent me a new one, but if they've changed anything in the design or construction, it doesn't apply to these that I bought. I believe that's everything. So if there's any item on this bike that I showed you that you'd like more detail on, functionality, would I buy it again, opinion, how did it go with mounting it, some of the stuff I had professionally mounted, some I did myself. I could talk more about that. Also, one item that I didn't mention and didn't bring out of my house to show is the Garmin Zumo, what is it, a 5, I wrote that down and don't see that either, sorry. It's $5.95. And I just found my other page, sorry. So actually a couple things to show you. The Machine Art Moto handguards were $269, not cheap. The Triumph levers were $140. Those weren't cheap either. I also put this side stand pad on, wrong side, which was $40. It's an R&G. I don't even know if you can see it there. Well worth it. I would not go without one of these. I pull into a dirt parking lot or something with my friends and they're struggling to find something to put under their side stand so their bike won't fall over. I don't even think about it. I just put that down. It's got plenty of surface area to support the bike in loose material. Works great. Also put this SW Motec shifter on, which was $193. Again, not cheap at all. I love it. It's simple. Screw right here. I loosen it and I slide it back and forth. I have 3 different type of boots that I ride in. Colder, wet weather boots. Hot summer, like almost like a heavy-duty sneaker type ankle boot. And then off-road boots. And they all have different thicknesses, especially in the toe box. And moving that shifter position into 3 different spots for the 3 different boots. It takes 15 seconds to move it, and it's well worth it. Highly recommend it. You also may have noticed these foot pegs. I don't know what they are. Shout out to Anthony Julian, guy I bumped into at a motorcycle shop, and we've become friends since he had these for his Triumph Tiger and has different ones that he put on and gave these to me as a gift. I like them. They're nice and wide. They have a good grip. Let's see, anything else I forgot? So the Garmin Zumo mounts on here like that. It's a great GPS, but big downside to it is it's $700. $700 for a GPS is 5.5 times what they'd cost for a car. Super expensive. It is vibration proof and waterproof, which I really like. I did have a cheap one on here before that I did that home do-it-yourself version of trying to waterproof it. Never really tested it to see if it worked or not. But the Zumo, I guess you'd call it the only motorcycle specific functionality that I can think of that it has is the Find Adventurous routing, which really works great sometimes. If you're in a suburban area like here and tell it to find adventurous routing, it really doesn't know the best country roads. It just gets you off of the main roads, and I didn't find it too useful for that. But if I'm traveling and I go up into a mountainous area or a country area or wooded area and you hit adventurous routing and you set it to find the most hills and curves and avoid highway at the highest setting, it really does work great. You can just be mindless, not care about the route that, trying to plan a route or knowing your route or looking at maps or anything, and just let that thing do the tracking for you and just follow it, and it'll bring you on some really sweet roads that you never knew existed. So $700 was a lot of money, but I guess I would say it was worth it. And now I think I've covered everything on the bike. There's the mess of the gear that I took off. Places I've been. This one is kind of countries, regions. This one is places, for the most part. Nova Scotia is not a town or a city, but a lot of towns, cities, mountain areas, whatever. And my favorite band, which is my band, the CRS band. CRS stands for Can't Remember Shit, in case you didn't know that. And Billy V from Middleborough, Massachusetts, USA, signing off on his 2016 XRX. If anybody has an interest in hearing more about how I decided on buying this bike, I think it's an interesting story, but I don't know if anyone else would. But bumped into it, never heard of it, didn't know what it was. I took a look at it on the showroom floor and I saw that it has cruise control, and I was like, wow, cruise control on a bike at this price? Started asking questions and investigating, ended up buying it. Like I said, best bike I've ever owned, less than half the price of the BMW RT, and I would take it over the BMW RT if you offered me either one for free. And let me know in your comments. Thanks, ride safe, keep the rubber side down, and take care.